Greetings and welcome back to House of Abernathy. This episode was packed with exciting details, so spoiler warning for episode 5 of WandaVision just in case you haven't watched it yet.
Hiya, kids!
Later in the video I'll explain if Pietro's back. Before we get started, you know what time it is. Roll that intro. Alright, so starting with the recap. Notice that Wanda has changed what she says about Monica.
She's gone.
Is Wanda's magic so powerful that it's controlling the actual show? At the start of the episode, we watch Wanda try to use her magic, but it doesn't work on Billy and Tommy. Is that because they're an extension of her?
Why won't you do what I want?
I also think that it's pretty poor parenting skills if you're trying to use your magic on your baby. Vision tries reading The Descent of Man to calm down the twins. That book refers to human evolution. This could be a nod to mutants and how they gain their abilities through evolution. Agnes drops in using another witch reference.
Auntie Agnes is here, and I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve.
Of course she has a trick up her sleeve. She's a witch. Another interesting detail about this episode is that the color red has been amped up, showing off Wanda's hex magic around Westview. Back to Agnes. Now, is she the only adult in Westview that isn't under Wanda's control? She ends up breaking character and asking Wanda, does she want her to hold her babies?
Do you want me to take that again?
But then she snaps right back into character once Wanda gives her the okay.
Vision, let's let Agnes give it a try.
We know Agnes has been trying to gain Wanda's trust throughout this series. Is this because Agnes is in on what's going on here in Westview?
Well, this is gonna be a gas!
Maybe she's the one that created this town. I'll be back later to stir that cauldron. While Agnes mentions Ralph again, she's spraying lavender all over the twins.
Lavender! It's supposed to have a calming effect. Ralph sprays it on me every night, but...
Or is this some kind of potion? Because once the twins disappear, the next time we see them, they're now 5 years old.
Where are the twins?
She calls herself a tiger, and then for the rest of the episode, we see one on the kitchen table.
There's no taming this tiger.
Maybe that's how Agnes knows when to show up. This episode is based off of Family Ties, Full House, and Growing Pains. A fun fact for you, the pictures of Wanda are real, they've just been edited to have a Sokovia background to them. Also, let's take a minute to appreciate how cute Vision is as a baby. So after Monica receives her x-rays, they come out blank. What if when she got blasted out of Westview, she gained powers? Now we know that she will end up becoming either Photon or Spectrum, and I'm sure that she'll end up with similar abilities as Captain Marvel. Did you feel offended how Hayward was talking about Wanda? I know that she took over a town, but don't do Wanda like that. She's grieving. At least Darcy was there to speak our minds for us.
Then allow me, Hayward's.
It's bad enough that 9 days ago Wanda broke into S.W.O.R.D. and stole Vision's body. But why didn't Hayward mention this before when he's the acting director? Who does he answer to? Alright, so time to give you my first theory of the video. This one's a stretch, but anything's possible in WandaVision. So the clip we see of Wanda breaking into S.W.O.R.D., what if those body parts didn't belong to Vision? What if S.W.O.R.D. was piecing together Ultron as a weapon?
God throws a stone at it, and believe me, he's winding up.
We know that one of his heads have been floating around since Spider-Man Homecoming.
That's awesome.
Also, when Wanda lost focus in episode 4, she saw Vision's dead body like it was left at the end of Avengers Infinity War. Not as a bunch of spare parts. If you liked that theory, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll have something special for you when I reach 100 subscribers. We see Billy wearing red for Wiccan, and then we see Tommy wearing green for Speed. It's also the same colors that their parents wear. Now we get to meet Sparky. He's actually from the comics and he plays a pet to Vision's family. Agnes shows up again unannounced, but it appears that she's winning over Wanda's trust. I mean, Wanda uses her abilities in front of her and Vision gets upset. Of course they are normally of the same mind, it's because they both are connected through the Mind Stone. It's interesting that Agnes is there while the twins age up again. If she didn't steal them while they were babies, maybe she's waiting for them to become teenagers. Maybe by then they would have developed their powers. Back outside of Westview, Monica mentions that she knows an aerospace engineer. Someone who would be up to building up a tank so that she can re-enter Westview. Now who could this be? I've seen online some people think that it's Reed Richards, but I think that he's going to get a better introduction to the MCU. My guess would have to be Rhodey.
Boom, you looking for this?
It's confirmed that the hexagons represent Wanda's chaos hex magic, but she's still the queen bee of the hive. Notice the backboard with the missing people on it. They've added the mailman to the list, but there's still no ID for Agnes, and still no mention of Dottie or Ralph on there. Now the group debates on who would have beat Thanos in Avengers Endgame. But Monica has an interesting expression when Captain Marvel is mentioned. Does she blame her for not stopping Thanos in the first place, resulting in her mother, Maria Rambeau, to die all alone? Or did something else happen between Captain Marvel the movie and now? We also learn that Wanda's magic changes reality and it stays that way outside of Westview. While Vision is at work, he receives an email that the whole office reads aloud. Creepy! But when Vision breaks Norm free, he ends up freaking out. He warns Vision that he has to stop her, but Norm doesn't say who. Is he talking about Wanda or is Agnes to blame? When Billy is training Sparky, it's interesting that he holds the treat up to his temple, like he's speaking to him telepathically.
My name is Doug. I have just met you, and I love you.
Sword is using an 80s drone to make contact with Wanda. Hayward, of course, issues an attack on Wanda, but that just ends up pissing her off.
Stay out of my home.
She leaves out of Westview to return the drone and to threaten Hayward. But it seems like they have some kind of history. I like how she directed all the weapons on Hayward and she left Monica safe. As Wanda returns inside, the barrier becomes red from her hex magic. Maybe she made the barrier harder to penetrate. Alright, so this episode's commercial is the darkest one yet. The Lagos paper towels used to clean up a mess.
Need Lagos brand paper towels, the most absorbent paper towel available.
Lagos is where Wanda blew up that building, killing innocent people. The punch represents the blood on Wanda's hands from her not having better control of her magic.
You've got a mess, and you're...
What do you think the next commercial will reference? Now, Sparky is found dead in Agnes's yard.
Don't know how many leaves he ate. I didn't find him until it was...
Wanda tries to pass on some mature advice about bringing the dead back, but she's doing the same thing with Vision right now.
Don't worry, darling. I have everything under control.
It's interesting that Vision is washing his hands in the same sink that Sparky got a bath in. He started off clean, but then got buried in the backyard. I liked how Wanda was trying to end the argument by rolling the credits. They have a standoff in the living room just like they did in Captain America Civil War. This could also foreshadow a battle that they will have over Westview. So there's a knock at the door and it's Evan Peters playing Pietro. Alright, theory time. Now the simple answer to this is, Wanda tore a hole in the multiverse and summoned Fox's Quicksilver here. But notice the timing when he showed up. Much like Agnes throughout the episode just popping up. He does the very same thing. What if this is our first look at Mephisto? He says that he wants to squeeze his sister to death.
Long lost bro, get to squeeze his stinking sister to death or what?
Now that doesn't sound like a proper greeting to your twin sister. If Vision is giving Wanda doubts about Westview, of course Mephisto would use an illusion to keep her there. What if this is Jimmy Woo's missing person from the case? Regardless, something is up, and I don't trust him around Wanda. The next episode's a Halloween one, and that's a perfect setting for something creepy.
Lighting the spark of love that fills me.
Or even better, the reveal of the devil. I also want to give a special shout out to Rachel Walsh. She left a comment saying, "I'm not sure how I found your channel, but you are my go-to post-WandaVision watch in any other thing you decide to do, and you are right, your intro is a bop. Also, watching this at the time when episode 4 came out, you are scarily accurate in your predictions. Hashtag Mephisto Believer." Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think will happen in the next episode. I'll see y'all in the next video.